All right. Here we go again. Deja vu and not a good one. Gervonta Davis is charged with battery for snatching up his girlfriend in Florida. Man, it seems like this is an all too frequent occurrence with Gervonta Davis. I certainly hope there's not a lot of people out there making excuses for him. And once, shame on you. Excuse me, what's the saying? If it happens once, shame on them. If it happens twice, shame on you. So Gervonta Davis has got this drama. Let's talk about this drama and what it means for his career in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Look, man, I never enjoy doing these type of videos, but it is what it is. I have unfortunately been chronicling the arrest career of Gervonta Davis for the last couple years. This is not a new thing. This is not something that's unexpected. It's something that is going to that happened to Gervonta Davis before a fight with. It was a couple years ago. He was in a boxing gym and he got in a fight with somebody. The person leaves, calls the police, and they file charges on Gervonta Davis. I think at the first time through, it was like, either felony assault or it was like a misdemeanor assault. But that was in Baltimore. And that was the first time that it happened. The second time that I saw something like this happen with Gervonta Davis, where it didn't wind up being that he didn't wind up getting charged or arrested, but I thought to myself, man, what is this dude doing? He was in a hallway behind the, like where the fighters and the television crews and all that exit after a fight, and he was just horse playing around with Adrian Bronner, and the guy walked up and clicked his phone at him, and Gervonta Davis turned around just off the top of his head and slapped the guy's hand, slapped the guy's phone out of his hand, and he went back to horse playing. And I was like, man, what are you doing, man? You can't just go and expect, you can obviously, but you can't do it and not expect eventually to get arrested for something like that, man. And so he did that, and I was like, oh man, this guy is just a loose guy. The dude's just a loose cannon. But some time went by, you didn't hear anything about him, and then he fights Yuriorkis Gamboa, right? He's selling out stadiums and doing all this good stuff. So I'm making a bunch of videos about Gervonta Davis because I like Gervonta Davis as a fighter. I think Gervonta Davis is one of the best fighters in boxing. I was not part of the group of people that thought he underperformed against Yuriorkis Gamboa. So, if you feel like getting in this conversation, call me a hater and wanting to see the downfall of the young black man. I'm not that guy, okay? But I am going to call it like it is, like I see it. And when I saw that video of him snatching up his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, the mother of his baby, snatch her up by the collar, roughly walking her out of the door, I didn't think Gervonta Davis was capable of that. Oh, what a shock. My only shock was that the dude was dumb enough to do it on national TV. Now, I don't put my hands on women or anything like that. So I am one of the, I'm kind of a purist in that regard. Other people, they have different ideas about it. And hey, we can debate that or not debate that. The thing that I'm saying, I wasn't surprised that he did it. And I wasn't surprised but I was just surprised that he did it on national television, that he didn't do it on national television, but that he did it in a crowd of looked like 1,000 people there, man. Looked like there was 1,000 people. There was over 1,000 people standing right by him. And he's screaming at the top of his lungs at a woman and snatches her out of the seat and walks her out. That is totally and absolutely lack of self-control. This is not something where he's on an elevator and there's a security camera, or, it's some he said, she said because it happened in a club in the middle of the dark. This dude is doing this crap in broad daylight, or with a shining light, basically sitting on the middle of a stage. And I don't condone what he's, and I'm not, get me right here, I'm not saying that, oh, he should have done this, he should have done it somewhere else. He shouldn't be doing it at all. But Gervonta Davis just has a very, very serious problem with keeping his hands to himself. And when people have a serious problem keeping their hands to themselves, people that don't want to be around people that don't know how to keep their hands to themselves wind up trying to find a way to put that person who can't keep their hands to themselves somewhere so that they can't put their hands on other people. And that is usually a jail. Now, Gervonta Davis gets charged and there's the mugshot or whatever. And more than likely, nothing major is going to happen to Gervonta Davis here. More than likely, nothing major is going to happen to him. I do believe that it's a misdemeanor, not like misdemeanors are just some minor thing. Okay. There's things like there's a felony, which is more severe, more serious charge than a misdemeanor. But a misdemeanor, the right misdemeanor can land you behind behind bars for longer than most people want to be there. Now, there's some people that don't mind being behind there, and hey, if that's on you, that's on you. I was actually listening to this guy. I believe this dude's a rapper. I don't know really why he's famous, but his name is Bosco. I'm sure a lot of people listening to this video know it. And he was on this Fresh Out series, talking about his life as a teenager and how he was in and out of the system. And like the first time it was for, I don't know, like petty weed possession. Then he started selling the weed. Then he started, breaking in. Then he started breaking in houses, and after that he started breaking in cars. He started stealing cars, and just over time, the charge just went up and up and up and up. And at one point in time, he said, "Man, I stopped it because this little 5 months just seemed forever." And I listened to it, and I was like, "Man, 5 months seemed forever to you. For me, 5 months would seem, if I was, in an institution for 5 months, that would seem like a long ass time to me." But I guess you become institutionalized and you get used to it. And, that's just kind of part of life for you. I suppose that's what I've heard people that have, that had that experience say. Now, I'm not going to get into a big, long conversation about the criminal justice system and how, hey, a lot of people don't need to be there and for the things that they're there for. But I will tell you that I am somebody that's really big on you keeping your hands to yourself. I don't want to go somewhere and just feel like, hey man, if I just run up against this guy in, run up in this guy and he's in a bad mood, that all of a sudden, man, he just misinterprets what I say. And the first thing is I got to fight the guy. That's what you call a violent offense. Okay, I'm not big on all that stuff for nonviolent offenses, but for violent offenses, dude, look, man, I have almost no sympathy for that. Okay, if you and I can understand why people might fly off, but hey, like that old Beretta thing, man. If you can't do the time, then don't do the crime. Yeah. Anyway, so man, But what does this do? What does this mean for Gervonta Davis, man? Gervonta Davis, it probably means little to nothing for his career, for this particular incident, because more than likely it's going to be a misdemeanor. He's going to be able to pay a fine. He might have to do some community service or something like that. It's not something where that, at least from what we can see, that he actually put his hands on the lady, like in a violent way outside. But when you snatch somebody up by the collar, you are assaulting them, because it looked as if she didn't get up and walk out on her own volition. She was snatched up by the collar, not by the throat. She was snatched up by the clothing and forcibly walked out of there. That right there, that's assault. But I don't think that they're going to throw the book at the dude for that. Also, hey man, guys with a lot of money, with a lot of backing, that bring a lot of money into the economy, sometimes get, breaks other people wouldn't get. Now, at the very least, this is not a Sergey Kovalev issue. Okay. Not a Sergey Kovalev issue where, let me actually say that and let me go that way. that's why I don't think a whole lot's going to happen. Because if people will still let Sergey Kovalev fight, then hey man, Gervonta Davis is definitely not going to have a problem. Because what Sergey Kovalev is accused of is straight up heinous. And Matchroom, Top Rank, or main events, no public statements about him, and continue to let him fight. Got the biggest payday of his career. Probably got one of the bigger paydays of his career. No, the biggest payday of his career, because he didn't get paid anything hardly for the second Andre Ward fight. Biggest payday of his career coming off of dang near breaking a woman's neck. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, it is what it is. Man, I hope Gervonta Davis, man, grows up pretty quick. But the dude's 25 now, man. It's about time to pull. Dude, keep your hands to yourself. This is something that he should have been told and taught when he was 6 years old. Son, keep your hands to yourself. Okay, if you got a confrontation with somebody, they make you mad, walk away. But keep your hands to yourself. Anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.